Okay. Hello, welcome to Shadow Warrior Yoga. This is Callie, the Frenchie who loves all her toys. And today's class, the peak pose is Dhanurasana. Dhanurasana is a big back bend. So I'm going to show you the anatomy real quick. So right here is the pose. And you'll see here that you're getting a nice big chest stretch. And we will be rolling out the chest. And then also you're doing a big hip extension. So we're going to be stretching or rolling out the hip flexors to be able to get that big of a stretch through the body. So we'll be targeting a lot of those areas in our rolling today before we do the class. Make sure that you have a set of chin-up balls and 2 blocks. The blocks are really helpful to give more pressure to the areas that we're going to roll. So we are going to get started with our rhomboids. The shoulders are going to be going back and squeezing towards each other. So the rhomboids are very important. The rhomboids are between your shoulder blades. So right up here. And your shoulder blades are the muscles that squeeze together. So we're going to start with that. We're going to go from the back of the head. We're going to go from the back of the head, and then we're going to go down to the upper traps, and then we're going to go down to the rhomboids, okay? So keep them toted to start, and you can even take a block, and you can start with a block for the back of the head, okay? So come on down, make yourself comfortable here. And then what's so great about being in this pose, this posture, is that you can just start to relax your breath, calming your mind, arriving into your body. And if it helps, you could always put on some relaxing music. You could put on some theta binaural beats that will really help to slow down and stimulate the calming nervous system. So allowing yourself to just find the weight of your head into the balls and then add a little sway, just to massage gently, letting the pressure of your head be heavy. And you're just letting your body kind of go. You're letting your body fall into the floor. All right. And then from here, see if you can let your head lean to one side. So you're putting more pressure onto one side of the head. Put it on me. Yeah. I feel like the energy would she'll feel the calming energy eventually, and she'll just get calm too. One of these days. And then let your head lean to the other side. So you're putting more pressure on one of the balls. And I'm already feeling a difference. One side definitely feels tight, more tight. And this is also where we hold stress. And whenever we're in a head forward position, these muscles are always working. So it feels nice to really give attention. Okay, we're gonna go down. So for the next part are the upper trapezius. I'm going to take the block away. No, these are mine. And then I'm going to put them right at the base of my base of the neck. La 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 la. Base of the neck, right between the neck and the shoulders. And I'm letting the weight of my body go down into the tuna balls, just allowing for the tension, or what I might call the shield that we use, that we hold to protect ourselves. Whenever we have a lot of stress, we will tighten this area. So see if you can relax and soften. As you inhale, expand into your low back, your low ribs. And as you exhale, let your body sink down, softening your body, noticing what's happening in your mind. In today's class, our focus is going to be all about observation of word thoughts. Callie, come over here. Callie, come here. Come here. Come here. What is that? That's my water bottle. The observation of word thoughts is our focus for today's class. So what that means is observation of the words that you use. Look at this toy, look at this toy, look at this toy. There we go. Even when I'm talking to Callie, right? Like the choice of words that I use to get her attention or to talk about her, right? There's always a power in the words we use and the thoughts that we have. And the power of our thought is huge. The words we use and the thoughts that we have, they're all part of the same intention. It comes from somewhere. It comes from influences that we received from the external environment. And then there's also thoughts that come from something internal. Like maybe you could call it like a download or intuition. So there are external and internal thoughts, which then turn into words. And let's go ahead and move the balls down. Let's go between the shoulder blades. So into the rhomboid. Finding your rhomboids here. And I like to take my arms up towards the ceiling to feel more of the shoulder blades working. And then just reach your arms straight towards the sky. Keep the arms straight. And then down towards the earth. Towards the sky and towards the earth. So they're moving apart towards the sky and then together towards the earth. Great. So the power of our words and the power of our thoughts, when we are processing how to express ourselves through our words, there's something like a digestion that happens in our mind. We take in the information, we process it, and we decide how to respond. This is where our power lies. This is where we become the alchemists, or I like to say the magicians of our reality. If you ever notice people who speak negatively, they always feel like the world is a negative place. And then people who speak positively always feel like the world is a positive place, right? So they are magicians of creating their own world. They have created that world through their own words, their own thoughts. And our words are like a wand, right? A magic wand. When we use our words, they can become a blessing or they can be a curse. That is exactly the power behind our words. So just using this class today as a way to observe your word and your thought. Thank you, Callie. Thanks for the kisses. I love your kisses. Okay, I have to teach now. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we're done. No more kisses. I have to teach. I have to teach. I have to teach. She's so funny. I know you want to. She wants to just give me so much attention right now. I feel like I should come early and just like cuddle. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to the pecs. So now we're taking these out of the totes, and we're gonna go with 2 blocks. Okay, it's nice with the 2 blocks. Otherwise, you could try this on the wall. You could do it on the wall actually without the blocks if you wanted to. So I'm putting them. Let me see. I'm putting them like this on my pecs, and that way I'm gonna lay down. And then the tune-up balls go on top. And what I'm looking for is to get right where the front of the shoulder, right? You can kind of see where the front of the shoulder, the seam of your shirt kind of shows that is your shoulder. And then there's the chest. So we want to get it more on the chest rather than the front of the shoulder. Okay, so right here. Again, you can do this without blocks on the wall, and that might feel really nice. All right, so I've got them right off the connection of the pecs next to the front of the shoulders. And then I'm just going to take my arms back, and I'm going to let my head relax. And you could always try this on the wall, doing one side at a time. You could do it that way. And I'm just going to stay weighted, letting my body weight go down into the blocks, into the tune-up balls, allowing for this tightness of my chest. Because you, as I showed you in Dhanurasana, it's going to be a big stretch for your chest. It's a big pec stretch. And typically our pecs are quite tight. And we tend to not stretch them as much as we do the hamstrings, right? When we think about yoga, we do a lot of hamstring stretching, but not so much pec or chest. Deep inhale into your low back, expanding up your rib cage and spine. She's extra grunty today. Like, usually she doesn't bring the grunts out until she really wants. Oh, McBride, you're blinking in. You can take a nap. Maybe we can wrap it around her. You know what people in San Francisco do? They like dress their dogs in like sweaters all the time. The cool weather. I could see her as a sweater dog.
She hates clothes.
Not
about it.
It'll give her something to chew. Keep her occupied.
She didn't sit super still inside.
Oh, she's like, what?
Yeah. I don't like the constriction.
All right, now I'm going to add my arms. We're gonna move the arms up and down a bit here. Boop, boop. Hi. Hi. That's not your ball. That's mine. That's mine. It's mine. She really wants it. And then we're gonna take this, the arms into internal rotation, so the hands come to the low back. And then the hands go out to the side and forward under the forehead. And then again, going back, internally rotating to bring the hands to the low back. And then going forward to the forehead. Good. One more time to the low back. This is just a great way to move the arms, the shoulders in the range of motion here. Oh yeah, I'm feeling some stuff right in this spot, right here. This is a juicy one right now for me. I'm just gonna let my body sink down. I've had a little bit of a shoulder impingement, so this is feeling really nice right in front of the chest. Okay, now we get to move on. We're gonna take one ball, and if you have bigger ones, you could totally use a bigger one here. And we're gonna take it to the latissimus dorsi, where it goes up to the shoulder socket. So it kind of runs from your back and it goes up into the arm bone. That's your lat. It goes all the way from your pelvis up to your arm. So we're gonna take it to the side of your shoulder socket. Okay, that's where I'm gonna put it. And then I'm just going to let my body stay on the side as I move down. And I would recommend, if you do have bigger tune-up balls, if you have the alpha, you could do the alpha on this. I love using the alpha for this area. And you're probably gonna already feel some soreness. That's a sign that it's a tight area. So just let yourself find the pressure. And then we're just gonna start to move side to side. All right, looks like Kelly's it's getting comfortable. She's burying her toy with the blanket. If you take her outside, will she bury things in the dirt? Does she like have that?
She tries to, but she doesn't really know how to.
To get like the dirt out?
She doesn't think far enough.
Oh yeah. If you just like brought her some soft soil, still like.
The only thing she's ever successfully buried was dog treats.
Oh.
But it's not like she remembers where they were to go back to it.
Right. She's just following her instincts. All right, so there's definitely a lot of sensation I'm feeling. How are you feeling? Are you feeling that? Okay, cool. It's working. I know, right? There's so much going on around the shoulders. A lot of the back body and front body muscles connect to the arms at the top of the shoulder. So it's a really great area to focus on, especially if you do have any shoulder stuff going on, discomfort. And then I'm just going to start to move my body down, like facing my chest a little more down towards the ground, just to see if I can get the ball to go a little bit more towards the shoulder blade. And then I'm going to go up and down. Up and down. Okay. All right, we're going to switch. Go ahead and take it out. And we're going to go to the other side, the other shoulder. Right on the side of the arm, the shoulder socket. Oh yeah, right in there. Woo! Well, this is the side that I have the impingement also. Oh boy, it's intense. Oh. What you got going over there, Kelly? It's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Aww. Is that your favorite? That's your favorite? Does she normally like the bigger, like the big treats? I feel like the ones I've seen her with are big treats.
She likes the knuckles the best, but they sell out.
Oh man, I can't even relax into this one. This side is intense. It's good though. It means I need it. And you can always get comfy. You can always spend more time on your rolling, especially if you're watching this as a video. You can pause and spend more time there. Okay. Oh boy. Ooh, I'm just gonna relax my head and try to breathe. So inhaling into the low back, up your spine, expanding into your back ribs, and stretching the intercostal muscles of the rib cage. The thing too is, when you're rolling, it's the same concept of getting a massage, is you actually have to relax your muscles in order for the massage therapist to get deeper and to actually get the knots out and to actually massage, right? Because if you're tense in your muscles, the massage therapist can't get in there. It's not pliable. So it's the same thing for tune-up balls. You have to find a way to relax your own body so you can massage your own body. Okay, I'm gonna go up and down just a little bit. Just a little bit, okay, going the direction of the muscle. Woo. And what's so important to understand is because we have muscles on the back body and front body that come to the shoulder joint, that if one side is more tight, it pulls the shoulder out of alignment. It's not like it gets popped out of the socket, but it just moves it, more forward, which is why you'll see people with rounded shoulders, because the front of their body is tight. So it's pulling and shortened the length of the muscle. So it's pulling their shoulders forward. So that's why rolling is fantastic for fixing and balancing out tightness in the body. Okay. I'm just gonna go up and down a little bit here, up and down a little bit, getting into the side. Final breath before we move on. Ooh, I gotta spend more time on this side. This area is telling me I need it. All right, we're gonna need to move on to our yoga flow. Go ahead, keep your blocks, but just take the tune-up balls over, out of the way. Oh, someone's getting tired. Someone's quiet. Yeah. You wanna cuddle? I would cuddle. Your blanky's over there. Go get your blankie. Go get your blankie. Over there. Allie? Over there. Yes. Get comfy. Okay. So we're gonna start in our lying down supine position, mummy pose. Okay, so mummy pose is the same pose that we end class with. You want to feel the support of your core in this position. So letting your body be nice and long. Take your hands onto your waistline. And we'll find the core. So I use the cue, smile your waistline. And I might use the words, your belt, tighten your belt. And this area is what I'm talking about. So I want us to use our hands to find it. So if you take your hands to your hip bones, find your hip bones, they're pointy. They're at the top of the pelvis. And then you want to tract from these hip bones, use your index fingers and move towards the pubic bone, the pubic symphysis. Okay, so you've got your hands, your the base of your thumbs on the hip bones, your index fingers on the pubic symphysis, and that is your main waistline right here. Okay. Also, for women, this is like where our uterus is, right? Our womb, like this is a very important area. So take your hands to this area between your hip bones, pubic bone. Let your hands rest on top. And as you inhale, expand into your low back. As you exhale, draw your pelvic floor in and smile your waistline away from your hands. Inhale into your low back. Exhale, squeeze your belt, tighten your belt away from your hands. And one more, inhale. Exhale, smile your waistline towards your low back, your sacrum. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, feel your hands rise. Exhale, feel your hands draw down. So this is a very important cue. I'm going to give this cue a lot. So again, it's smile your waistline or tighten your belt, the front of your waistline, your waistband. Okay, let's get started. Start by bringing your knees to tabletop position. Now this is already where your waistline has to smile. If your waistline is not smiling, what happens is you're going to be using your hip flexors. So I want you to find your core. Again, with your hands from your hip bones, inhale, expand, exhale, smile your waistline, widen across to your hip bones. It also feels like I'm pulling the tissue from my pubic bone towards my hip bones. You know, I'm sort of like healing that tissue into that area. One more time, inhale into your low back. Keep the sacrum heavy. Exhale, smile your waistline away from your hands. And then we'll start by going one leg at a time. Toe tapping forward and switch. Now notice when your waistline or this belt starts to loosen, because it will. So really, really work on finding your focus, on getting this to stay connected. Keep your belt tight. Tap and tap. Keep your legs about hip distance, hip bone distance apart. And then whenever you exhale, engaging from your pelvic floor into the waistline. Thank you. Thank you. Take a seat. If he wants to cuddle with me. Callie, why don't you take a nap? Take a nap. Take a nap. Take a nap, Callie. Thank you. Thank you. Your stomach. I don't know. She's just looking at my hands. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. She's feeling very affectionate today. She's very affectionate. All right, so we're getting that awareness of the core. This is super important, especially when we get back bends, because you do not want your core to be giving up or relaxing during the back bend, or else you will have low back pain. All right, let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet together. Big toes touch, knees touch. Hug your thighs towards each other, and then both feet down and in. How's that waistline? Are you keeping it nice and flat? I know, right? It's like, it wants to like puff. I always feel that right away.
So there's a few things to think about. Keep the sacrum weighted down and move with your breath. So you inhale to go down, exhale to lift, inhale down, exhale lift, smooth the sacrum down, inhale, exhale. This is really great because the more you do it, the more your body kind of figures it out and will get into it quicker. Especially when you're in classes that go fast and the teacher isn't giving these kinds of cues. Exhale. If you're feeling your legs are doing a lot and they're cramping, it's because the core is not activating. Something to notice. Again, one more. Inhale down and exhale in. All right, great. We're going to hold this here. We're going to start by taking the legs over to the right, hover the knees, just going onto one hip, and then come into center, go the other way, other hip. It's a little seesaw over to each side. I'm not going very close to the floor. I don't feel like I really need to strain or anything. I just want to start to wake up the core. That's all I'm doing. We're getting into more obliques with the twisting, going to the side. Really great way to start the class, getting the core ready for all these back bends that we're going to be doing. And we're also going to be opening the shoulders. Last 4, squeeze in, inhale out, exhale in. 3, bring it in, find that you're drawing your hip towards your navel. For 2, and then 1 more, find that hip reaching in, 1 more, other way. Awesome, awesome. Okay, go ahead and bring the feet down. So we'll give our low body a little break with that. We'll go with the upper body. Take your hands and bring them to your occiput, base of the skull. Elbows come in line with your eyes, your peripheral vision. Inhale, nod your nose, lift the back of your head towards the back of the wall behind you. And feel that beautiful wave from your pubic bone reaching to your hip bones and then up towards your ribs. Keep your low ribs down. There's a lot of that flattening here in the midsection. Now all we're doing is we're taking the, keep the hands where they are. You're just going to curl towards the left hip. And we don't really need to think about the elbow going there. It's more about your torso. So your shoulder towards your hip. That's what I think about. And then switch, shoulder towards the other hip. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, exhale, curl. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, curl like a wave. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl like a wave. Think about your shoulder moving towards your hip and your sacrum stays still. Lots of beautiful work here happening. You're going from your external towards your internal obliques. External towards internal. Good. Feeling the ribs suctioning down. If you let the ribs flare, keep them down for 4. Exhale 3. Exhale 2. And exhale 1. We're going to stay here. Keep your head up. And then press your low back. Keep your sacrum nice and heavy. And the hands by your side. We're going to reach the right hand forward, left hand forward. Right hand and left hand. We're keeping the body in a nice, strong curl. And your hands are just moving towards your feet. Getting your side to side here. Getting obliques. Really good. Getting also love handles, right? We talked about that. I did a love handles bar class before, which you could try that out if you want. Let me know what you think. All right, we got 8, 7. Notice if you're using your neck, keep the ribs down. Keep that. TVA smiling, your waistline smiling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Nice and warm in there, right? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, we're gonna take this into bridge, coming up with the hips. It's gonna feel really nice after all that core work. Reach your heels down as your knees stretch forward. And then squeezing your inner thighs. I'm gonna actually, since we have our blocks nearby, grab a hold of a block or a ball. If you have a birdie ball, you can use that. And place that between your inner thighs, close towards the knees. Perfect. So you're using this prop as a way to remind your inner thighs to fire up. We want the inner thighs to be strong, especially in Dhanurasana. So in Dhanurasana, your legs are parallel like this, and you're squeezing your inner thighs. Now imagine your inner thighs are rolling back. Okay, so you're squeezing the thighs and imagine them rolling back at the same time. That's the work. That's how we get that beautiful hip extension. And then get those glutes fired up. So the lower glutes, where the glutes and hamstrings connect, is where you want to be squeezing forward, up towards the sky, while you squeeze the block and reach the thighs down at the same time. Lots of magic happening right there. Stay long through the spine. One more breath. Awesome work. We're going to take the block out, and then we just move our hips. So we're going to move down and up, like hip bridge lifts or hip lifts, down and up, squeeze. Every time you are going up, I want you to think about those inner thighs rolling down. While you squeeze, press the lower glutes. You should be feeling this more in your hamstrings. A lot of times people overuse their feet to do the work. I want you to feel the hamstrings turning on, kicking up a notch. You want to kick up those hamstrings a notch. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. Roll the spine down. We're going to do some rolling of the bridge. So at the bottom, take your pelvis into a south tilt. Reach the sit bones forward and down. And then north tilt. Keep the back on the floor, but you're curling your tail into north. And then south. Reach the sit bones down. North. Lift the sit bones up. South, press the tailbone down. North, curl the tailbone up. Keep going. Find that you're isolating your pelvis. This is going to be so important when we do Dhanurasana because I'm going to cue your pelvis in order to protect your low back. If you're able to feel what this is going to be like here, you'll be able to feel it when you're in the pose. So we've got south and north. And which direction do you think you're going to go when you're doing Dhanurasana? Just think about that. I'll give you a moment to feel it. You think it's going to be south, right? Because south feels like it's back bend. That's why it's so tricky. So Dhanurasana, you are actually moving into north. So let's hold north. Now, why is that? Because north is how we protect the low back. If we were to go into south, let's go into south. Feel what's happening in your low back. It's starting to condense, which is okay here because we're not putting weight into it. But when you're doing it on your belly, it's a lot. It's like you're giving up your core, you're just letting your low back snap together. We don't want that. So go back into north, feel north. This is where your TVA, your waistline is smiling. You take your hands to your waistline, feel that beautiful flattening of your waistline. That's why we do north in Dhanurasana. Okay, let's curl our bridge up, hold your north, curl up spine, and find the top. All right, so if you think about Dhanurasana, it's like this pose here. It's like bridge. We just are gonna be adding the arms to it. So now that you're in bridge, or what I like to call prep for Dhanurasana, start by going to the pelvic tilt here. So keep your hips up, but just do that tilting north to south. What muscles are you feeling turning on in order to do north? I feel the lower glutes. That's for sure turning on as I go into north. I'm also feeling my inner thighs. My inner thighs are squeezing towards each other when I go north. Super important, because that's how you're gonna feel when you do the pose. So there's a lot of this awareness around the hips, inner thighs and glutes. All right, holding those hips up, continue doing your tilts for 4. Press more into the feet a little bit just to get those legs up. 2 and 1. Curl the spine down, roll it down. Beautiful work. We're going to come on up to our elbows. And we're going to find north. See if you can keep that north tilt going. So you've got your waistline smiling down, kind of like you're hollowing out your midsection. And then we're taking the legs up towards the sky. Beautiful. Keep that hollowing out from the waist. And then we're taking the legs out and together. Out and together. So it's really nice that we've got the legs stretching here. Hamstrings, inner thighs, getting a nice little stretch after the bridge work we just did. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bend the knees, keep your knees wide, and then tap one foot down and in. Switch, and switch, and switch. Keep paying attention to your north. Keep it going into north. Press your sacrum down. When I also think about north, I think about pubic bone towards navel. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Come onto the feet, come onto the hands. Your hands, your fingers point forward. We're going into reverse tabletop. Lift off those hips. So you're in a bridge again. Look at that. It's like bridge. But now we're on our hands. Good. So find north and south. North and south. North and south. Great. So we're really training the body now before we go into our flow. Our flow is just all about warming our body up. Good. But I want us to learn this part because this is how we're going to do the pose. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Go ahead and bend the knees, cross your legs, and then we're going to come into a tabletop position. All right, from your tabletop here, start by stretching the hands forward into puppy. The arms are straight. Press your hands down. Get your forehead towards the floor. Feel the work of the shoulders as you push the arms down. Really, really active here. Reach down through the pinky fingers. 1 more breath. Great, and then come onto the hands. Tuck your toes. We're gonna lift back into a down dog. Keep your knees bent. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Good. Feel that nice stretch through the spine. And then inhale, straighten through the legs, reach the heels down. All right. Bringing your feet together. Inhale, the left leg goes back. Lift your right heel, come onto your toes, and then stretch the left leg even higher. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding your back, and step your foot forward. Take your back knee to the floor, untuck your toes, and take the arms up. Or take your hands to blocks. This is another great option for you. So your hands can go on the blocks. Now notice if your legs are collapsing or if they're relaxed, activate the legs. Reach the left hip back as you curl towards north. Look at that, we got our north tilts, which makes such a difference. You can feel your right glute working more when you get your north going. Lifting up through the sternum, keep your arms by your ears. Take your body long, lengthen through the waistline. And exhale, take your body forward, stepping forward, forward fold. Big toes touch, or feet are hip width apart. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can be on the blocks, or shins, or floor. You want to create a long spine. Exhale, forward fold, let the head go. Inhale, reach arms all the way up by the ears. Then bend the elbows like a goalpost and press the arms back. Feel that stretch through the chest, which we worked on with the rolling balls. Good, and then bring the elbows together, feeling a stretch of the shoulder blades. And then again, together, press back and together. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Great. Taking it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, option for the blocks. Exhale, step your left foot back. Take your knee down. Or actually, we're gonna keep the knee up. We're gonna step back. Hold your plank. Keep your core engaged. Slightly tilt to north. Engaging the glutes, using your core to hold your body. Slowly lower the knees. And then keep the collarbones smiling as you bend the elbows back. Coming onto your pelvis. We're going to stay on our pelvis because we want to work through the back bend. Untuck your toes and then press into north. What does that feel like? Your pubic symphysis should be firing up. And then go into south and north. South and north. So I really do feel the pubic symphysis is a huge anchor for this sensation. And inner thighs too. Okay, let's hold north, keep the pubic symphysis engaged, lengthen through the crown, start to lift from the shoulders. Lightly pressing with the hands, find your north, pubic symphysis, pressing down, down, down. Really good. Now we're going to press more into the hands, tuck the toes, coming onto the knees, downward dog. All right, so we're just getting that muscle memory in there. Bring your feet together. Inhale the right leg back, come onto your toes. Keep squeezing the right leg up higher. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward. Back knee comes to the floor, untucking your toes. Option to use blocks here. As you lift up through the spine, find your north tilt. Get the left glute to fire up. Lengthen from the sides of your torso. So you're getting that beautiful stretch through the spine. It's a little bit of a back bend because you're going into your hip extension. One more breath. And exhale,
stepping forward. Option to bring the feet to touch or apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach it up. Take the arms by the ears. Keep the low ribs in. Exhale, goalpost the arms. We'll do that round again. Pressing the arms back, getting through the chest stretch here. It's so important. And then elbows in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot goes back. Keep the knee up for this one. Exhale, stepping the other foot back into plank. And then we're going to lower the knees and lower the body nice and slow onto the pelvis. So let's find our north tilt. Press your pubic symphysis down. All right, we want to connect the pelvis here. And then start by lifting the back of your legs up. Keep your hands where they are. We're just going to work on the legs. Straighten and lift the kneecaps. So the kneecaps reach towards your quads, towards your hip bones to straighten out through the front of the legs and the back of the knees. Find north tilt. Get that smile, your waistline, your belt tightening. This is so important for your low back health. One more breath. And then relax the legs. Take one inhale, we'll do that one more time. Exhale, lift the legs. Squeeze from the lower glutes. Stretch through the toes, point, maybe spread the toes. Good, or you can like point and flex at the same time, which is like a floint. Spreading the toes. One breath here. Good, good. Exhale, lower down. And then gently pressing yourself up and back down dog. From here, walk your hands back to your feet, coming into a forward fold. Hands to your elbows in ragdoll, and just sway side to side. Adding a lot of the weight towards your toes. Getting a lovely stretch here. And we'll relax the head and circle the head. Tiny, tiny little circles, relaxing the neck. Circle the other way. Good, and then roll up to standing. Take your time. Articulate through your spine as you're rolling up. Awesome work. All right. So now we get to go into our, we're going to do some more shoulder work here. So first thing is with the shoulders. So with our shoulders, we have internal and external rotation. So the external rotation is with the thumbs going back, and then internal rotation are when the thumbs go down. So when you do Dhanurasana, typically it's done with the internal rotation, so your thumbs are down. But how does that feel in your shoulders, right? If you're feeling any tightness, especially if you've impingement like me, you may not like that position. So I'm going to invite you to try with external rotation with the thumbs back. Okay? So from this, we're going to go into dancer, which is our shoulder stretch. So starting with the, I'm going to face this way. Starting with your left leg, your palms are facing forward, and then bending your left knee. Now go for your grip. If you're going for the external rotation like me, you're going to go for the inside of the foot. If you're doing internal rotation with the thumbs down, you're going for the outside, which is the more traditional way. But I like this also because I just think it feels really good to get more of that stretch in the chest. Okay, so start with your knees together. Take your other arm by your ear. And you want to think about lengthening through the body as you find a north tilt. Keep that north tilt going. Now that you're in air and you don't have the floor to reference, it's requiring you to use more of your proprioceptive awareness, just your senses of your body and space. Okay, so the dancer pose, you start by using the glute to extend the leg back, keep the chest up. If you had a wall, you could put your hand on a wall and push against it. And you want to be using the work of your glute. It's not about falling forward. It's not about pulling with the hand. It's about the kick. That's where the magic happens. Your glute is doing the work to press the leg back. Stay for 2 more breaths. Keep your hips forward, your chest forward. 1 more breath. Good. And then keep your leg up. Take your hands to your heart and bring your knee forward into a one-legged Tadasana. We're going to bring the foot over the thigh into figure 4. And we're going to sit it back. This is a great stretch. We haven't done any hip opening yet, so this will be our first one. And we're not really going to do a lot because the peak pose is not a hip opener, but we will do it at the end afterwards. This just feels really nice to get the inner thigh stretched, glute stretched, working on the balance. I love me some balancing sequences, right? All right, and your gaze, your drishti, is somewhere that doesn't move. Stay for another breath. Feel the bend in your ankle and knee helping you find control. All right, go ahead and bring it up. Beautiful, let it come down. Shake it off. If you're feeling a little sizzle, that's normal. That's normal. Okay, let's go for the other side. I'm gonna turn this way now. So right leg is the side we're gonna go with. External rotation. People, go for the inside of the foot. Getting that stretch to the chest. Start with getting your north tilt. Feel the glute firing up. Take your other arm by the ear. So getting the thigh stretch too here. And then exhale, start to use your glute to press the foot back. Kicking the leg back into your hand. Feeling the power of the back of your leg. Keep your body long. And you're getting that beautiful chest stretch here. And dancer, right, is like Dhanurasana, except for we're adding the balance. Same idea. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Lift up through your waistline. Smile your waistline. 1 breath. Beautiful. Keep your leg up. Take your hands to prayer at your heart. One-legged Tadasana. Flex your foot. Figure 4. Putting the foot on top of your leg. Sitting back. Bending from the ankle and then the knee. Letting your weight stay more into the heel. And the lifted foot is pressing towards the leg to encourage the hip opening. Gaze your drishti somewhere steady and focused, and get very present in your thought, your word thought. Observe. You can even start to tell yourself, I am present. I am focused. I am in my body. Inhale to rise and exhale to release. Beautiful. A little shaky, shaky. That feels really nice. Let's make sure we're good on the time. Okay, great. Whew. So we did some shoulder stretching or chest stretching there. And then we're just going to flow a little here into high lunge. So inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Now stepping your right foot back Holding this high lunge or runner's lunge, your left hip reaching back, squeezing your thighs towards each other. And then starting to move into a, we're gonna move this towards a twist. So take the left arm up, easy twist. Stretching through the chest. Reach the shoulders apart, lengthen through your spine. Notice your thought, word thought. Observe your balance. Good, and then sweep your arm down. You're gonna take warrior two. Take the arms out along your sides. Reach the arms apart and broaden through your collarbones. Looking over your front arm. You want your front knee to traction towards your middle or second toe. One breath here. Good, and then take it to side angle. Keeping the knee bent, top elbow can rest, or hand can come down to a block. Top arm is gonna go along your ear. Spread the fingers, wrap the pinky down. Let your hips get a nice stretch here. One more breath. Good, inhale to reverse. Triangle, straighten the front leg. And reach the arm back. Getting a nice side body lengthener here. One more inhale. And exhale, windmill the arms. All right, we're gonna come onto our pelvis again. Using the knees if you need to come down. And then from this, we're gonna do some bigger cobra. Cobra is a great way to stretch the hip flexors. So we went from baby cobras to now more grown-up cobras. So untucking the feet, press into north, getting that pubic symphysis to connect into the floor. You'll feel your waistline lifting. And inhale, start to lift the upper body into a grown-up cobra. So we're not using a low body. We're actually pushing the feet down. And we're gonna get those shoulders down away from the ears and find that north tilt. It can be tricky to get that north, especially in these kinds of poses. Now, if you're feeling like you've got more room, you can always keep the elbows bent, but start to lift the hips. This might give you more space in your low back. My knees are still down, but I'm continuously focusing on north. I'm thinking about north the whole time. One more breath. All right, tuck your feet. Come on up into down dog. Use your core. Really good. All right, walking your feet forward or taking one big step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Come into high lunge, runner's lunge. Inhale, the right arm coming up into easy twist. Getting a stretch through the shoulders. And we're getting that right hip as well to reach back. Long spine. Your exhale helps you twist a little deeper, turning the collarbones, the décolleté. Good. Exhale, sweep the hand down. Inhale, warrior two. Turn the back foot down in line with the back of the mat. So you have your heel to arch alignment. Stretch the arms apart. Reach through the hips. The knee tractioning over the second or middle toe. I like to spread my fingers out here so I can get more stretch through the muscles of my hands. One more breath, really finding your focus of your mind. Exhale, bending the elbow, come into side angle. Top arm by the ear. If you are observing your mind, notice what kind of thoughts you're having. Are you being present? Are you being in your body? Now inhale, reverse triangle. We're taking the legs straight as we take a side bend, side reach. Lengthening from your side line. Exhale, windmill the arms, bend the elbow. We're going to take our full cobra again. Coming down onto the hips. Untuck the toes. Root down into your north. Tilts, finding your pubic symphysis, connecting to the floor. Inhale, grow your cobra. It's like a cobra about to strike, right? And if you need more room, let the hips come up. Staying on the knees, but your elbows are bent. A lot of times people will straighten their arms and compromise their spine. It's not about the arms, it's more about your torso, your pelvis. Find your north tilt, squeeze your lower glutes forward. One more breath here. Shoulders down your back. Exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Good, so we've got a lot of different variations of back bends. One-legged and two-legged. Deep inhale. We'll take an open mouth exhale. One more time, big inhale. Open mouth exhale. And then come on to your knees, tabletop position. All right. Great, so we are on time. We're gonna go ahead and go right into our back bend practice, our moving into our peak pose. So for the first pose we'll do is Ustrasana, camel. And you could do this on a wall, right? Because the wall is like the floor. You could use that for your pubic bone and press into. If you don't have a wall, you could also just use some blocks, placing these outside of your feet. It's a really nice option. You could also tuck your feet and let your feet be up. Your heels are higher in this position. Okay. So there's a few options there. So we're going to start on sitting on our heels. So I'm doing the option with my blocks. And take an inhale to grow tall from your core, lifting up your waistline. Exhale, press into the feet and shins. Start to lift up off the hips as you lengthen. So look, we're in a bridge, right? I'm in a diagonal, and then when I'm ready, I come onto my fingers. I want to have a little more lift. And then open up through the chest. Lift up your sternum towards the sky. The more you can lift your sternum, the more that you can let your head draw back. If it's starting to feel like it's straining, that might be too far. So find the medium, the happy medium. Squeeze your glutes. Remember, that's the work. Pubic bone towards north. Find your north. Squeeze the lower glutes. One more breath. Then exhale, sitting down. Taking a moment to calm the breath. Slowing the breath. We'll do that one more time. So we'll do that twice. And really, we're just teaching the body about getting that like hip extension, getting the glutes to fire, the inner thighs to fire, so that when we're doing Dhanurasana, you are really safe, really safe. So I'm going to do this with one block. I'll try this. I'm going to put it between my thighs, like we did in the bridge. So kind of close to the knees. Remember, inner thighs, rotating back. You wanna firm up the outer hips here. Ready? Come on up to the knees, squeeze your block. Inner thighs reaching back, firm your outer hips towards your glutes, your lower glutes. And then I'm gonna just start getting my hip extension, my lower glutes working. I'm squeezing my block, lift the sternum, maybe the hands come to the heels. Keep pressing through the hip extension. That's the most important thing. Hip extension. Squeeze the glutes forward. Find the lift through the chest. Sternum happy, smile the collarbones. One more breath. Squeeze those thinner thighs, squeeze those thighs. All right, gently coming on up. And then sit on the heels. Oh yeah, lots of work, lots of isolation happening there. Okay, now we get to do the peak pose. If you're wanting to do it with the block to protect your low back, that would be actually pretty smart. You can start it with that. And it is normal for people to have their knees kind of go apart. I really want to focus more on the strength of this pose and not so much of the performance of it. So I am going to use a block just so I can get my inner thighs. We're going to come down into prone. Let's start with the Sphinx pose. Bring your block between your thighs and find your Sphinx. Elbows under the shoulders. Press your pubic bone to the floor. Squeeze your kneecaps. Squeeze your block. Feel the work of your north tilt. My waistline is already lifting away from the floor in my north. And I'm reaching my shoulder blades down my back, broadening the collarbones. Stay for one more breath here. Keep squeezing the block, inner thighs roll to the block and back. Okay, so for those of you, you can absolutely stay in Sphinx. You do not have to do Dhanurasana. Those of you who are ready to do Dhanurasana, let's come onto our chest. Bending the knees. This is where the block might get left behind, but don't worry about it. And go for your grip. I'm going to do the external rotation with my hands. You've got your block between your knees. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, start to kick the legs. So it's like dancer. Find your north tilt. Get your lower abs pulling up. Find your belt. Good. Squeeze from the glutes. Press down into the hips. Find your north. One more breath. And then relax. Feel let your head turn to one side. You can sway the legs if you like. We'll do a second round. And then we can finish with a counter pose. Dhanurasana is kind of like a counter pose to our daily life. All right, second round. Again, you can do Sphinx instead of Dhanurasana. Okay. So coming onto the chest, bending the knees, go for your grip. You can always try a different grip if you like. Take an inhale to create length first. Exhale, start to kick back. Use the power of your glutes to push down. Push the glutes down into the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Open through the chest. Find your north. Maybe your block is going to go with you. One more breath. Exhale to release. Turn your head the other way and sway the legs. Awesome work. Oh yeah, big back bend. All right. Come on up to all fours. And the counter pose I want us to do is frog pose. So it's an inner thigh stretch, which is what we were just using was our inner thighs. So take your knees wide and the heels in line with the knees and the hips in line with the knees. So actually if I turn to my side, you would see my knees are exactly in line with my hips. So we're not sitting the hips back or letting them go forward. We're keeping it all in a nice kind of goalpost with the legs. And ease into it. If you want, you could put a block under your forehead. Let yourself relax. Slowing your breath down. Back bends are great for bringing a lot of fresh blood flow into the heart, into the chest. And it makes your body have to work a lot more than it's used to. So it's very normal for the heart rate to increase. And we also like that too for the cardio, right? We like to have our heart rate go up for some cardio benefits. Reconnecting to your breath. Closing your eyes if you're comfortable and just finding your word thought. Observe. All right, we are going to make our way to seated. We'll take the left leg in, bending the knee. So sitting up nice and tall from your hips. If you need, you could sit on a block. You could use that elevation to help you find more room for your body. And we'll take a twist here. So taking your right arm, bring it across the leg, open through the collarbones. Your back hand is behind your hips, and then pressing the upper arm into your upper back. This will help keep more lift. Open through the chest. Exhale, turn the chest towards the back. One more breath. Inhale, long spine. Exhale to rotate. Good. Inhale, look forward, turning the head. Just to give a stretch. And then we'll switch legs. Bring the right knee into your chest. Sitting it nice and tall. Feel that length through the spine. Exhale, rotate to the right, taking the left arm over the thigh. And then think about lifting from the sides of your waist, pressing the upper arm into the upper back. Keep the collarbones wide. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, rotate more to the right. One more time, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, rotate. Beautiful. And then coming into center, or looking, actually look over the left first, just to get a neck stretch. Good. And now we can make our way to our back. And you could technically, if you want to sit for the meditation, you could do that too, okay? Make your way onto your back, taking the knees towards your chest, feeling the weight of your legs sinking down into your hip sockets, feeling some pressure, a little squeeze into your hips. One inhale into your low back. Exhale, squeeze. And release, finding your meditation position or mummy pose, just like we started. Let your whole body go. Let your body be heavy. Tonight's meditation, we're focusing on unconditional love. When we talk about word thought, we talk about the power of our word and how we use our words. Our words are like a wand. So when we talk about having unconditional love, we want to use words that are sending that vibration of love. Start to think about what it is that you do now to show yourself unconditional love. It could be making time for yourself in the morning or afternoon or evening to do a practice like yoga, a movement practice, a walk, or bicycling, right? It could be any type of movement practice, qigong, right? You name it. It could be eating nutritious food, organic, and making sure that it is nourishing your body, giving you the vitamins and the minerals that your body needs to feel good and healthy. Maybe certain activities like self-care, taking a bath, or getting a treatment like a facial or a massage. It could even be making sure that you make time for your connection with friends, having that once a week or whenever possible to meet in person, meet face to face, to be able to have that connection, because we are social beings. We are not meant to isolate, and no man is an island, right? That's a really important saying, to remember that what makes us human is our connection to each other. And then notice or observe if you have any behaviors or tendencies that lead you more to self-sabotage, anything maybe destructive. It could even be thoughts. It could even be the way you speak about yourself. Just notice and observe. Where is that coming from? Or why do I do that? What is the intention? And when did it start? Now I want you to visualize, because there's something very powerful about using imagery. We actually are able to turn on a very large part of our brain when we use imagery. So imagine that you are walking up attic stairs. There is this stairway, it's dark, you turn on the light, you see the stairs, they're going up. into this attic. And you go into the attic and you see boxes, memories, photos, old equipment, all of these items, all of these things, maybe old journals, of the ways that you used to be or have been. And these items are still sitting in the attic. Now I want you to imagine that you are turning this attic into your sanctuary. This is your space. Start by removing the boxes, donating the equipment, the clothes, sweeping and mopping the floor. The walls get painted, cleaning all the corners, all the crevices, till there is no speck of dirt. And then you get to decorate your space. You get to design exactly what it looks like. What is in the center of the room? Maybe it's a bed. Maybe it's a dining table or a game table. Maybe it's a hot tub, go wild with it. This is your sanctuary. This is your room. How many windows are in this room? And are there other doors in this room that lead you into your own little heaven? For me, because of my deep love and connection to Hawaii, mine is a tropical paradise. So outside, I have a beautiful lanai with an outdoor shower and a hot tub, and it's right by the beach. So I can walk outside and go on the beach whenever I want to. So anywhere like that, I've heard other people tell me they have a garden, herbs and flowers and bunnies. I've heard other people say they have like live animals, kind of like all around. And then also in your room, what is in your actual room? All the things that you could need, kind of space that you cherish. Maybe there's a couch with a wine fridge and magazines. Maybe there's a tea set. Maybe there's some chocolates. There's a kitchen. Maybe there's a yoga space with your yoga mat and your props. Maybe you have a space for music and playing music, creating music, or pillows where you can relax and listen to music. So it's absolutely whatever you want. This is all about what is it that makes you happy, and how do you show yourself love? That's where this all starts. That's where this room is going to make the most difference. And then lastly, once you have this room, this sanctuary in your mind, write a letter write a letter to your future self, welcoming your future self to this sanctuary. You are now welcoming a new, loving version of you into this space. You can leave maybe some flowers or a gift. And then imagine the key to the door. Maybe it's gold. Maybe it's crystal or diamonds, made shiny. It could be made of rose quartz. And lock the door to this sanctuary and leave the key in the center of your mind. As you return to this earth, as you return to this body, know that that sanctuary is going to always be there. And it's just for you whenever you want it. You can go there. Starting to wake up your senses, your fingers and toes. Finding the vessel of this body again. Feeling the weight of gravity of you sitting or laying on the floor. And reaching the arms by the ears, taking a nice stretch, feeling the range of motion in your body, how much room you have now that we've done all this back bending. Exhale, roll to your favorite side, bending your knees into fetal position. And press yourself up to seated. Sitting up nice and tall. Feel the weight of your sit bones underneath you, lengthen up through the back of your spine, back of the head. Take your hands to your heart in prayer. Having love behind your intention. Having self-love and unconditional love. Forgiving yourself, forgiving others for causing harm, even if it was intentional. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. And then taking your hands to your lips, the power of your words. Your words are a wand. You choose if you want to send a blessing or a curse with your words. And then hands to your third eye, the seed of our intuition, the seed of our wisdom, the wisdom to know thyself. The higher self in me bows to the higher self in you. Namaste. Yay, awesome. So the journaling now, which you are welcome to just do that on your own. The journaling will be to describe this sanctuary of yours, what it looks like, feels like, the lighting, the decor, whatever design you have going, and write that in your journal. Have that be your happy place. And also if there's anything that resonated with you about the observation of your words and your thoughts, things that came up for you, please journal that. Write down emotions, any memories maybe that came across in the meditation. All right, thank you so much. From my heart to yours.